Here's your hosts, El Hombre and The Formula.
Welcome to Trust the Profits. This is our YouTube channel. I'm The Formula, joined by El Hombre. But in the other box over there, we do have a special guest today. You know him from ESPN, College Game Day, his coverage of the Kentucky Derby, Belmont Stakes, other sports too, golf, soccer, aka football. He has a podcast, Stanford Stephen the Bear. He is the Bear. Chris Fallica is with us today. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Slogged through a negative opening day at Saratoga, but it was certainly great to see the races back at Saratoga and the fans there. Yeah, it was not the best of days, but hey, a bad day at Saratoga is better than a lot of good days elsewhere. So
absolutely,
ready. Looking forward to tomorrow's card. We're broken that down. I hope we'll get into it here.
Yeah, and thank you for coming here on opening week 2021 for Saratoga. I mean, what a better time to talk to the Bear than Saratoga's opening weekend. El Hombre, you were going to jump in there. Don't let me stomp all over you here.
No, my first question was going to be how to go today, because I know today we're not covering today, obviously, because it already happened. But how did it go for you today?
I had the Asmussen winner. That somehow went off at 4-1, which worked out well. I did get beat.
Oh yeah.
I got beat with Jack Daniels, who was like my secondary pick. He got up the rail and beat me out of a nice win ticket there, and I had the 8 in the opening leg. And somehow, I guess a rat has to come like 7 or 8 paths out in order for the stewards to kind of flash and maybe take a look at it. So I had the Vasquez horse that was second. So it was close, but no cigar. And the best horse that I liked today the most was the Jerkins horse in the last, and kind of ran flat there, and it was in position in the pocket, and the couldn't really get out and had nothing when they asked him. So hey, that's okay. It happens.
So quick correction, Dak Daniels, not Jack Daniels. Because
it's a Prophet's favorite. Yeah.
The only reason I know that is because it was voted the 2020 worst name in horse racing by our illustrious fans. And by the way, Chris, I wanted to tell you, please try not to be nervous on our cast to millions of people here. I know you're not used to it. Not used to live audience.
I'm just going to stare straight ahead and not focus myself on the fans and anybody in attendance behind me. I'm just going to look at the green light and put the form and my notes up and not look at anything else. I don't want to.
Just picture the audience naked.
Yeah. You two are pretty intimidating. So
don't try not to be intimidated by our fame and just be yourself.
So, Chris, we know you do a lot of work, ESPN podcasting, and I listened to one of your podcasts recently, your Preakness podcast, and it was 2 months ago that we were talking about Baffert, leading up to Preakness, Medina Spirit. 2 months later, we're still talking about Baffert. Obviously, they had the New York decision yesterday. So, in your opinion, what needs to change in horse racing with regards to either illegal substances or illegal levels of controlled substances? What needs to change here?
What I don't understand about, I guess my first question or first point about what happened at the Derby is, why are we waiting till after the race to either take this sample or release the results of these tests? Well, why not take it beforehand?
Yeah.
And you can turn around the testing pretty quickly, I would think, these days. And I think that would probably be a step in the right direction there.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because it certainly took a damper off the biggest race in the world, and we still haven't heard any official notification if he is going. Medina Spirit will come down, and it certainly gives a negative light on someone who has been good for horse racing and has won the Triple Crown, and has been very affable, but at the same time, how many excuses can you make up? Oh, we had there was some Jimson weed that tainted the feed, or
someone peed in the grass.
Someone peed in the grass. He had a salon pass on his back, and they have every single excuse possible. And it was interesting. I thought somebody, in reaction to what you were saying about his horses being now allowed to run at Naira, okay, that's fine. Allow them to run for purse money only. That was an idea that someone threw out there, I think, last night. And you know what? That's kind of an interesting way to go about doing it, because if the bettors are ultimately going to be the ones who were punished, and everyone, and I had Mandaloon for a good amount in terms of trifectas, exactas, win bets, doubles from the previous day. Like, I'm not going to get any money. I know they have the suit going, and we'll see what happens there. But the owners of Mandaloon and the connections of Mandaloon may wind up getting rewarded for that. But the bettors are kind of out in the cold. So if you run for purse money only, if something happens, which the track record seems to indicate that certainly could, maybe that is something that they should look into moving forward here.
Yeah.
And maybe I can just bitch about the authentic "'tis the law" situation from a year ago on the Kentucky Derby that I mean, magic happened on Kentucky Derby Day with another Baffert horse there. Got slipped under the radar a little bit compared to this year, but hey, I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, it's how many excuses can you make? I think it's
and ludicrous excuses at that.
Bad look for the sport, which we're all trying to grow here. That's why we're here. And it sucks. I mean, we're all tired.
And I'm just thinking of it now too. I can remember he won with that turf horse, the stakes race. I think it started off the late pick 5, and like if Bob Baffert is winning a stakes race on the turf, he is not known for his turf prowess. So again, that just kind of raises other eyebrows and wow, he won a big stakes race on the turf. Like that's
right. That's right.
So I don't know. And then the horse came back and didn't run too well from Mott the other day. So who knows?
Yeah.
Weird how the performances go up and down radically with the trainer changes. But it is what it is. What are we doing? What are we talking about here? We're going to talk about obviously. I got one more question, Chris, before I move on. I forgot.
Yeah.
Live tournament experience. I saw you played in the NHC. Was that this past? How long has that been? I saw.
Last year was the first year I hadn't qualified for the NHC in like 9 years. I had a really good stretch going, and I didn't qualify for the NHC last year. I'm in it. I'm in it for 2022 again, which is already great to look forward to. And it was interesting because you feel really empty, like when you don't qualify. I even went out because it was right before everything kind of went sideways last March. So they had the last chance tournament out there the day before the event was supposed to start. So I wound up going out there to try and qualify, and I came up a little bit short, but it was fun to go out there. And then and I actually kind of left before the weekend got going. I left on Saturday morning. I stayed for Friday and left for Saturday because it was just kind of a bummer to be around in the room and have the contest going on and really not be in it. So I am really looking forward to getting back into the NHC in February.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've been I've been contemplating with getting involved in that tournament for the last 2 or 3 years.
You should.
I want to bad. So
and you can do it really any way you want. And if you're looking for a low cost way about going to do it, the daily feeders that they have to get into the qualifiers, they're like $18 or $20. Like that's the low cost cheap way of doing it. And they give a good number of entries. It's a good ratio into the horse players and horse tourneys and such into the actual NHC qualifier. Like I think today they had like 90 people or something like that enter the first feeder, and like 14 got a ticket into the afternoon contest. So for 18, $24, it's certainly worth doing that way. You should do it.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of back in the poker boom in the early 2000s with the all the qualifiers for the World Series of Poker and those type of deals. But anyway, we brought Chris on for the main reason to talk Saratoga on opening weekend. Again, we passed up today. It sounds like we had a hit or miss day ourselves too. We had a couple big wins.
Yeah.
Not our banner success story of a day, but not bad either. So
if you played around our confidence schemes, I think there was a number of plays that I had that did pretty well. So I think personally I ended up ahead, but
that's good.
If you played the whole slate, maybe you found some holes here and there, but working the confidence worked.
And you know what is difficult for me sometimes it's something that I believe in. Yeah. And again, maybe some people do, some people don't. I think there is a clear delineation for certain trainers at certain tracks that they're not going to translate form, or maybe they weren't good at Belmont and they're going to go to Saratoga and they're just going to take off percentage wise. So it's always hard, I think, early on at the meet to kind of figure out which trainers really may fire. And I know there are some research materials out there that certainly do help with that. But I think early on, you're always kind of a little hesitant, a little unsure as to, okay, are Chad Brown's horse is going to fire right off the bat? Are Steve Masmus's horse is going to fire off the bat? And you had a winner, obviously, in the last race of a guy who really hadn't done much this year. So you always need to try and it's always a little tricky early on in the meets.
Yep. So we picked out a handful of races to cover and give you some picks for on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, past performances are not quite finalized yet.
Yeah, that was disappointing. That was disappointing. I thought they'd be up by the time we got around to here, but oh well.
So we're going to do the best we can here. We're going to talk several races between Friday and Saturday. First, let's do this. And here's one of your comments that you just made. Who's going to be the hot hand? Slim M mentions Saez was hot today. And he was.
Oh, he had a great day.
Yes.
Yeah, Eric Cancel had a good day too.
Yeah, he really did.
Cancel had two wins. One of them destroyed me. I can't remember. What was that race?
I think it was race 3, right? It was either race 3 or 7. Those are the only two.
For me, it was the Gary Siaka turf horse, right? That was.
Yes, the race 6. It was like 13-14 to 1.
Head bob.
Destroyed us.
Yeah.
And what's up, Mark?
To that point.
We got several people on. Thank you guys for joining. I'm going to share the screen. We're going to jump right into some Saratoga capping with Chris Fallica. Here we go. Race 2, if you can squint, because look, I'm
starting race 2, huh?
I got the screen share on live. Yeah, we're starting race 2 on Friday. We're skipping over 1. We got some select choices here. Chris, you want to take off? See who you like in race 2 at Saratoga Friday.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Clear Humor's 5-2, and I get Quick Return being 9-5, but I think the horse to play is Arms Armored down to the drop. Drew the rail, a sloppy track 2 back, drew the rail again in a big field, just speed and fade badly. I think how you saw Asmussen's horses run pretty well today. I don't know if you're going to get 4-1, but maybe with the presence of Clear Humor and Quick Return, you'll still wind up getting 3-1 or so. But I really like the 3 Arms and Armor.
Formula, what say you on this race?
Yeah, this one, we do have this one. We've gone through the formula on this one. Obviously, we don't have the scratches in. Once we get the scratches, it does change the way our data model works. So what I say today may not be totally what we say tomorrow, but
understood.
I think in this case, though, I've got Quick Return, the morning line favorite, just under 2-1 odds. I've got that one as my clear favorite, at least, just in terms of the way he's run his past 4 races. Hasn't had a W yet, but has gotten pretty close to one. So I think Quick Return here is going to be I don't know if I'd put him as a single. My next horse up is Brew Pub. And then Arms and Armor, I think that's probably like our 3rd or 4th horse.
For the record here, the formula is very much skewed by Rat Ortiz Jr. And Brew Pub going 6-1 though. I mean, how can you fight with Irad? I mean, it's unless he's on a wild favorite. I usually like him. If he's on a wild favorite, like less than 1-1, steer clear. Shout out to Funny Side in this Distorted Humor lineage here. Louis Saez on the 6. Looks like we're both going against him, but
yeah, and
going
today
against
he broke
the morning
me
line favorite, which is cool.
In the last
That's always
race.
a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. The morning line, we're sticking with that one, formula wise. Obviously, there's better trainers and jockeys out there. Not to take anything away from Davis and company, but I think I'm sticking with the morning line favorite for this one.
Now you'll see the pure professionalism, and thank you to Horse Racing Nation for their site being about the best I could come up with for how to share this. So here we go with we're going to jump to race 5, I believe. Is that right? Race 5, 1.1 miles on the dirt. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds. Who we got here?
Yeah, you guys pointed towards Wayne Potts' horse in the first race, and that's where I'm going to go here. It looks like one of them is going to scratch with Jose Ortiz named to ride both of them, but it's a similar angle for me with either of them. Either one of them, it will be second race off of the claim, and I think either one really kind of fits the flow of the race here with Jose Ortiz, who I would think, based on looking at the race, will probably show a bit of speed with whomever he decides to go with. I think the 7 Mizenaire looks to be the speed of the race, but I would think that whether it's Varedia or Violent Trick, Jose Ortiz won't be too far off that pace.
Formula rebuttal?
Yeah. So this is one where I am picking a bit of a long shot here. So Mizenaire going off, you mentioned it earlier, speed horse, going off at 15-1. So per our confidence levels, this is a high risk race. So this is a race that we look at as being very volatile. A lot of times the horses that look like they are going to win when we go through our rankings here don't necessarily or some of the horses that are the favorites don't exactly come out and be the ones that win. Mizenaire, 15-1. I like the speed numbers on him. In terms of our formulas, this is probably the best horse out there. But again, it's a very volatile race. When we put together a card for this to show what our exotics are, it's probably going to be 4 or 5 deep at the very least.
Yeah, you're looking at a 12-5 claimer, and a lot of these connections just want to run their horse at Saratoga. So really, but the only thing I would certainly suggest is not falling in love with a really short-priced horse. I wouldn't take anything shorter than 9-2 or so in this race.
Yeah, exactly.
2 races into our coverage. We got 0 morning line favorites. It's a good thing. We're going to go on to Friday race 6. We have a 5.5 furlong dirt maiden special weight, $85,000 purse. What are we doing?
This is a nice
on my screen. So
this is a nice little New York bred stake maiden race here, and we got the China Horse Club with the 2, who obviously with Pletcher is going to get bet. I'm guessing Clement is going to get bet for his horse that was basically a beaten favorite last time out. Chad will get bet. I'm sure the Kelly Breed horse is going to show speed, but I might look towards Rudy Rodriguez here with the 6 Classic Miss at 10-1 morning line. Saez up for him. Rudy every now and then will pop with the horse that gets kind of forgotten about on the board. He has a tendency to win at a big number, and Michael Pola here certainly loves being in the winner's circle at Saratoga. So a lot of shorter price rate horses in this race, but New York State Breds, I might be inclined to go with a longer price in here. So Classic Miss is someone that I would certainly use on my ticket.
10-1 joint with Luis. I like it. Formula, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm sticking to something I guess a little bit safer morning line wise. We're sticking with Tough Street here. Irad Ortiz, Chad Brown, morning line favorite to a young horse. This has been one of our tricks that we play here. Probably gonna go with Tough Street. Can't Hurry Love, I believe, and November Rain are probably going to be our top 3 plays in terms of exotics here.
All right, so we're going chalk here first time.
We are going chalk, yeah.
Chad and Irad. That's a deadly combo. We haven't, like Chris was saying early on in the Saratoga season. We'll see who's got the hot hand. It's too early to tell, but
yeah. All right, where are you taking us next?
Race 7, 5.5 furlongs. Billion Mare, 3-year-olds, purse $103,000. What are we doing?
This is another race where I think you can probably avoid betting the shorter price horses. The too sexy.
Yep.
Is the 7-2. You go down, the Mod horse is 9-2, who would be the second choice, and I think the Mod horse fixes. But I actually I might take a look at the 8 horse, the Song here. Safi Joseph, I believe, sent out a winner earlier today. This is the filly's second start against winners. Kind of went around the track in her first start against winners at Gulfstream in the sprint. Now freshened up, comes for the couple of month layoff here, and I think a big non-winners are one. Probably stacks up a little bit tougher than what she faced down at Gulfstream in her first start against Winners, but at 12-1, I think it's hard to leave this horse off the ticket. And I would also take a look at Bay Jewel right next door, Patrick Reynolds at 12-1. I think this race sets up for a price as well. We were talking about the cheap claim for an allowance race. I think we may see around a $20 winner here as well.
Nice.
The way for Chris Fallica, 8 and 9 are his choices, both 12-1 morning line. Formula, what do you got here?
Yeah, I got this one. It's a wide race, right? We're obviously going to see a few scratches before this one. By the way,
the one is the morning line favorite at 2-1.
The one is the morning line favorite.
Yeah, the main track only. It made the main track only. Who I'm guessing will. I don't know if. I mean, who knows if the weather's supposed to be?
I don't think it's going to happen.
But I thought it was going to be pretty good. So.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That obviously moves Too Sexy to the rail, which hinders her from there as well.
So sorry to interrupt. Formula, go ahead.
Oh no problem. I've got Too Sexy in my top 3. It's not my top horse though. My top horse is Spin a Yarn, an 8-1 shot in the 5-hole. I do like the way this horse has run in its last 3 races as well as its last 5 races. I think this has been just a really strong horse. Dependable, a lot of winners for this horse here at 5 furlongs. I think if he gets in the 5-hole again, maybe moving over to the 4 if the 1 horse scratches, might get a good position to get out in front early.
Yeah, it's interesting, and something that I know a lot of people like to look at Saratoga are these smaller barns, these smaller connections, right? Trainers coming in from Finger Lakes and looking to kind of steal a purse here at Saratoga. So I think that this horse is going to be someone that a lot of people look at tomorrow.
Yeah, the odds on this one could drop significantly just by looking at it. I think it's got the potential to gravitate towards people.
All right, pushing along. Let's go race 8.
Race 8.
This is the 6 furlong dirt race, $40,000 claimer again. Shorter field, 8 horses. Chris, what do you see here?
I'm kind of against Easy to Bless and Patty H, 2 horses that kind of have the same running style, speed from the outside. So they're going to have to send from that sprint position, and I'm sure that they'll wind up being on the lead. But I think this is a race for me where I'm going to look at two longer price horses in the race. I think I'm going to look at the 5 Malibu Luna going turf to dirt. Again, the 7 furlongs from the rail, kind of terrible race on the turf, and I think the dirt is where this horse wants to go, and I think she'll be pretty close to that 10-1 line. And then I think you have to use the 4 riding on a winner as well. Ornado Notice horses ran very well today. This horse puts the blinkers on. Didn't have the best of trips last time out. I know Brooke made it at a big price and then was claimed, so he might have just taken a little bit of time to be able to figure out this horse. And I think at 15-1 on the line, I think you definitely have to use the Noda horse, but Malibu Luna is my top choice in the race.
Look at this, Chris pulling out the bombs. He's looking for a big payday tomorrow. Which
looking for paydays for sure.
I can't hate you on that, because when you're right, you're really right on those. So Formula, absolutely. What's the rebuttal? We got the 9-5 favorite Patty H. That's a Cox joint. What do you got?
Yeah, I've got the 2-1 in the 6-hole here. Easy to Bless. That's my top horse here. Just slightly better odds than Patty H, but I do like the way this horse has run in its last 3 or 4 races. Been extremely consistent. I think for the distance, I think this horse has been pretty solid, and doesn't hurt that Rosario's on the mount as well. I did also have Patty H paired up, so I think this is one of those areas where you can go for a chalky exacta box. I have it rated as risky because there are a couple other horses here who are sort of stealing the metrics, so to speak, from these two. But it's a little bit more balanced. But I think in the end, those 2 rose to the top for me.
All right,
playing it a little bit safer here.
So that's one of those races where you're not going to go 7 deep in the exotics.
Correct.
Let's move race 9. Now we're going into the stakes. The Forbidden Apple. It's a mile, $150,000 purse. What do we got here? I mean, there is a lot to like in a lot of these horses. Chris,
this is a really good competitive race. And I remember I was talking about earlier about how certain trainers don't necessarily don't translate from one track to another. And Jim Bond was someone who did not have a good Belmont meet at all, but his horse here, Reynolds, loves Saratoga, and it is a big step up from some of the New York bred races that he had been running in. Came out just short at Aqueduct in a couple of $100,000 stakes races, but I think this horse is the clear speed of the race, and he's a game horse, and he's really hard to go by. So I would absolutely use him in your exotic bets. I think value proposition is going to be a little bit over bet. He's someone who's. I remember that race a couple of years ago at Saratoga where he got up so late in this race. I think he kind of like plods along a little bit, and I'm not sure there's going to be enough speed in here for him to really set that late kick up. If I had to choose one of them, it would be Rinaldi. I'd also take a look at the 2 Corelli as someone maybe who he had the one terrible race on a soft turf with the blinkers at Saratoga last year, but now we're shortening back up to a mile. Blinkers are off, so he might be someone at 10-1 that you might want to consider as well if you don't think Rinaldi can take him gate to wire.
All right, Formula, where are you at on this race?
This one is rated as medium. The top 2 horses that we have between value proposition and Sacred Life, the French horse. I've got those 2 rated very close. Value prop gets a little bit of a nod here. My third horse, I feel, is a little bit more interesting here, and because it's medium and because the ratings are a little bit close, I would love to go deep, and I would love for Made You Look to actually take over here. You throw him in an exotic, and you hope that a 20-1 bounces in there and skyrockets you. Hasn't raced in a little bit less than a year, maybe 2/3 of a year. So I'm hoping that he bounces back to form here, but a very strong horse with Made You Look. I would want to consider him. And
ran a couple of good races at Saratoga a couple of years ago.
Exactly. I'm hoping he recognizes
Tyler Gaffalione on the mount too, so
doesn't hurt.
Bad thing.
Doesn't hurt one bit. Yeah, great speed figure numbers on there. Gaffalione Bauer, that's a good jockey trainer combo. So yeah, I would love to see him make some noise here. Even if you pair him up in an exotic box or exacta box or trifecta box, I think that'd be a great payoff with value proposition and Sacred Life.
All right, now we're going to race 10, the last one of Friday that we're going to cover. I think it's the last race of the day, actually. 5.5 furlongs on turf. Shout out to the Beastie Boys, body moving, the number 1 horse, Jeremiah Englehart.
Very good, very good. I didn't catch that right away.
Neither did I.
I'm impressed with that.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm a big Beastie Boys fan. I'm going to recognize that from far, far away. 5.5 furlongs on turf, and by the way, today the turf races just killed us. To be like,
those are turf races.
I mean, they usually do. It's boom or bust with them, but this race here looks wide open as well. Chris, where are you at on this one?
Well, I'm not going to be going with the number in honor of the Bee Gees, the 4 horse. You Should Be Dancing. I'm certainly not going to be going there.
See, now I didn't put that one together, so now we're even.
Exactly. We'll have to find one more in here to break the tie. But like, if that's your favorite in this race, 0-for-7 maiden for Pat Kelly, who doesn't win very often. Horse that's been longer than 6-1 every race. Like I'll try and beat that horse every time. Body moving, first from the rail, obviously figures, but again, first time starter, rail inside. That horse could have a tendency to get tired out. And then David Don Crisela rode another 0-for-6, only been in the money, third, 1 second. Like again, a horse that's burned a little bit of money. I don't know. If those three are your top choices, I think you definitely have to look elsewhere. I think Linda Wright's horse is going to get some play here, who was only 8-1 in her debut, and I think she should improve second time out. And then Fancy Feline, who was 12-1 on the far outside, again, entered, ran on the main track. Now I think the horse goes back to the turf, where I think is probably where they initially wanted to put her. And this is a daylight race where the winner won by 3/4 of a length. Second place horse was over 5 lengths clear of Fancy Feline. So that's, in my opinion, that's probably a better race than just the past performances and the figure would seem to indicate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Fancy Feline at 8-1 is going to be another horse that you're going to want to use.
Yeah, I like Fancy Feline. That's my third horse. We've got this one rated as a strong, so we've definitely got the metric swaying in one direction, and it is swaying towards the horse that you told us to discount. You Should Be Dancing. We're going to go with the Bee Gees on this one. Wow. Like the last couple times out, second place 3 times. I know he hasn't won yet. It's a maiden race, but coming in second 3 times, I gotta think he's got to break that spell at some point. When you look at the speed figures matched up against all the other horses available, there's a bit of distance between him and the other horses that I like. And then got Alvarado on the mount. I know there's a couple jockeys out there that I would favor over him. Obviously, you got Saez and Ortiz there, but I think the better horse is going to prevail in this one. I'll pick You Should Be Dancing. I also like Uncle's Gem, and to fill it up, Fancy Feline.
Fancy Feline, longer shot of the two. Let me pull up Saturdays now, because we're going to move to Saturday.
All right.
And just for the record, that's going to be the only time anybody ever takes the Bee Gees over the Beastie Boys on this on this channel. It's not right. I feel odd about it. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope you were going to put some type of disclaimer on that, because I was going to say it depends on when you're born. If you're born in the 40s or 50s, you're going to you'll probably take Barry Gibb the boys.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. You're right about that. All right, so we're going to cover 5 races quickly on Saturday, because I know everybody's got dinners to have and everything else. Sorry for the pop-up ads. You know, this is a really professional setup we got going on here.
Got to pay the bills.
Basically hogging the horse racing nation here. Here we go. Race 1 on Saturday is a 5.5 turf maiden special weight, $85,000 purse. What do we got, Chris? Go ahead, start us up.
I'm gonna try. I mean, I know it's on turf sprints. It's hard. You're taking your life kind of in your own hands, trying to bet against beat Wesley Ward, but I'm gonna do it here. I think there are just a lot of other options to go in here. I think War Smoke is gonna show some speed and give the Ward runner a shot. I think that there'll be some other horses in here that might be around, but I think if you're looking to play someone at a price, I think the 6 horse I'm blaming you for Robert Falcone getting the horse for his first start from Doug O'Neill. Won a route of ground last year. It's been off since. Run a decent debut at Saratoga last August, and again, daylight top 2 horses in a big field, was bet a little bit. Probably didn't want to go that long at Belmont in his second start, and now you get a trainer who does very well with turf horses. Will it be good enough to beat Sheriff Bianco? I don't know, but at 12-1 at the very least, I'm going to be playing a pretty heavy 8-6 exacta.
Nice touch. 12-1, and again, Chris not stepping out on the favorite. There's zero chalk being talked about here with Chris. I love it. So
that's for sure. Yeah,
a 12-1 morning line, especially with Luis Saez right now, who's, if you're going to talk favorites or the hot hand after one day, which is pretty ridiculous, but Saez was the guy today, I think, along with Eric Cancel. But Formula, where are you at on this race?
Yeah, so we've got this one as a medium in terms of confidence levels. And in terms of the PF score, Sheriff Blanco got a 17.99, which is a pretty high score. The best score you can get in that factor is a 20. So it's not a total runaway. If you do want to go for something that has a little bit of bang for your buck, I do have Majestic Tiger ranked pretty high here as well. The 8-1 shot in the 4-hole with Santana Asmussen as the trainer. Those are my two horses worth noting here. I would say if you're going to go for a win, Sheriff Bianco, but you want to pair that up with Majestic Tiger to get a little bit of action.
Yeah, Ricky Santana Jr. is a legendary jockey for us as far as performance goes and results. For whatever reason, that guy has provided some huge wins for the Profits, so we're always a big fan of Ricky Santana. Race 2 on Saturday. We're going 6 furlongs on dirt. $60,000 purse, 3-year-olds and up. Let's go. Chris, what are you seeing here?
I just wanted to bring this race up because I think the 5-horse Reaper Rocks is one of the worst even money shots I've seen in a long time.
Agreed.
You're talking about a horse that was 0 for 10, finally broke maiden in his 10th try, and now he's shipping up to the spa 2.5 weeks later to try and win his first against winners. And I mean, look, I know this is not a field of world beaters, but if you're playing pick 4s and pick 5s early on, do not single this horse. I think you're going to want to be deep in here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think the horses that I got picked here, Baby Yoda, who's 7-2. That's my top horse here.
I can't believe there's a horse named that, by the way, but go ahead.
Oh, it's about time, right? And then the 4-horse after that, Cause of Action.
Yeah, Cause of Action.
So those are the horses that I would consider. Obviously, Repo Rocks, I totally agree with you. You look at the chart on this horse, and it is just up and down like a mountain range. It's really hard to tell where this horse is at any given point. The fact that it's 1-to-1, I agree. It's a joke. Maybe you consider throwing him in an exotic. I agree with going down that route because you never know. Maybe he does pull it together for this race. He does have Irad in the mount, so that counts for something. But I do like the other 2 horses that I mentioned, Baby Yoda and Cause of Action.
Like I said earlier, though, Irad on a heavy favorite, not necessarily a great idea.
That's true. That could be red herring.
Maybe I've recognized a pattern that most people haven't, or a lot of you have. But when he's on a 1-to-1 or less, I would like to see that winning percentage.
Yeah, you learn the hard way, don't you?
All right, we're going to skip a few here. We're going to jump right to the stakes race. Race number 9, the Sanford. And again, with the professionalism, look at the scrolling just prowess that I have here.
Wow, that's beautiful.
You are too good at this.
Look, you got to make things work. This is an open 2-year-olds, 6 furlongs on dirt. The Sanford Stakes, $150,000. What are we doing here? We got 12 horses registered for the morning at least. Who do we like here, Chris? What direction are you going?
I gotta try and beat Wit. I mean, don't you? So someone's laughing.
Pletcher and Irad.
That's me. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, someone likes Pletcher and Irad. Yeah. So I should just shut up right now.
No. We want to hear.
No, Chris. The question is though, if you're playing a late pick 5, late pick 4, pick 6, whatever you're doing, do you have to put them in there?
Yes, you do. You totally do.
Yeah.
That's because he could be legit. I mean, he was close to a $600,000 purchase. His sire was a good runner and practical joke. I just don't like being stuck down inside there. And what they might help him in a sense that he's not going to be rushed up and buried down. The horse can take back and come running late. But again, you're going to do a full drop back and then have to circle. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm looking towards, again, if you want to use Wit, that's fine. But I'm going to give you 3 other horses here to make sure you use on your pick 4 if you want to play an exacta box. Can't be using the 1 with these 3. I think you need to look at the 4, Trust Our Journey, where Cancel, his horses ran well today. Obviously, Carlos David is a trainer who gets the most out of his horses.
American Pharaoh Joint too. Who doesn't root for American Pharaoh Joints for me?
I mean, this horse was 2-to-1 in the Tremont and caught an off track. It didn't run a bad race at all. I think the 5-horse Dance Code, who comes in off that maiden win at Parks, we saw Juan Marquez's horse in the opener run really well today. This horse again should probably be up near the lead, and I think the 6-horse Maryland Brando for Gary Contessa, who's had some babies run very well in the past at Saratoga, coming in from Delaware. The horse aired at at 5-1. Who knows? This horse has the appearance that he could be any type as well. So while Wit appears to be the most probable winner at 8-5, I think I would be playing a 1 with 4, 5, 6 both ways here.
I'll give you one more. The 9 horse Headline Report. This is broke its maiden, had a 90 equibase speed number. Velasquez is the jockey, Wesley Ward. I really like this horse as well. I've got it like a hair below Wit, and this is our formula here says this is a risky race, which means you might start considering those second and third tier horses in your bet, because there's a good chance that the one that does get the highest number may lose because all the other horses are getting a little bit closer to his number. So I really like Headline Report here. If I throw in another one, Candy Landing. I don't think that was one that you mentioned before. Brendan Walsh horse with Jimmy Graham in the mount. Obviously our favorite
former
Saints
Seattle
tight end.
Seahawk and Saint and Green Bay Packer, Jimmy Graham.
Former Kane. We're representing you here. Miami
There you
Graham
go.
gotta represent this
We got to bring up
school.
that. We got to bring up the. I forgot to bring up the U.
Yeah.
Did you go to school? Were you with Aaron Hernandez and the boys? Just curious.
Aaron Hernandez is Florida.
He was Florida.
Not Aaron Hernandez. Sorry.
Warren Sapp.
No.
I was there. I was there with The Rock and Warren Sapp. Yes.
Nice.
Early 90s, 90 to 94.
That was the
Yeah.
best.
I'm a
era.
dinosaur.
Yeah.
It was. I was right in the middle of it. I never saw him lose a home game, and won a national championship, and very easily could have won a couple more. The funny thing is, I think the best team that they had during my 4 years there, 90, 91, 92, 93, I think the 90 team was probably the best team that got upset in the opener against BYU, and then lost to Notre Dame in South Bend with a Rocket Ismail kickoff return and bad interception thrown to Todd Light. So it's funny how sometimes the best teams don't always capture it, but 91 they got back, and then 92 lost Alabama in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
There you go. Little college football reset.
We got it all.
We got the man Chris Fallica on here, who's very familiar with that realm. So
should I throw on the CONCACAF the Gold Cup here and give you a little update? I think we got Haiti and Martinique. I think we got going on right now.
Go ahead if you need to. I don't know anything about that, man. I'm out of that conversation, but feel free. All right, so Saturday, race 10, the Diana. This is
Race
the 500, a $500,000 purse going for 4-year-olds and up. Fillies and mares, mile and an eighth, turf. Who do we see here? And by the way, might I remind you on the last one of the Sanford? I forgot to mention it. Can we please talk about Irad Ortiz being on the heavy morning line favorite again in that one 8-5?
Shocker! Amazing how that happens.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry to interrupt, Chris. What are you thinking on the Diana?
I can't believe Harvey's Little Goyle is 3-1. That's way too short for me. Like I if I were to play this race, like I don't even think I'll use her on my late pick 5. Because I think Lamista with her second start in the UFC, I'm going to be on Irad Ortiz here.
Not the morning line favorite.
Actually, she is, isn't she, at 5-2?
Oh, you're right.
I think
but it's not like a 9-5 or an even money favorite.
Correct.
So I think you're.
I have a soft spot in my heart for Ravens Pass for having a huge score in the Breeders' Cup a few years back with that horse. So I mean, maybe I'm a.
That's how I am with Street Scent.
Very good prisoner of the moment, but yeah, I think this horse will be much tighter. Second off the long layoff from back in September, kept some good company in Europe. So I think David Aragona here has it right with Lamista as the morning line favorite, and I think she's going to be hard to go by.
And out of the 10 races we've covered so far, I think Chris Fallica picks his first favorite. So that's a good thing, I suppose. 1 out of 10 or whatever we've done so far is not a bad ratio. So formula, how do you see this one, the Diana Stakes?
I am dancing around the favorite and not picking the favorite here. So I actually have a tie here. It is a risky race. We had two horses that had very similar PF numbers. They had very similar R2 numbers as well. This
PF
is a language.
Power figure.
Yeah, this is a language between El Hombre and I. But for the rest of you, I hope you enjoy the talk. Fallica, I'm having a hard time pronouncing this horse. 3-1 odds in the 8 hole. Really like that horse. We got Franco on the mount on that one. And then my second horse, Summer Romance, in the 6 hole, 4-1.
It's it's just a game exact. I loved Fallica on Belmonte. That was that got me square on Belmonte.
Yeah.
So we're riding off of that
day on Belmonte.
Yeah. Riding on that
day.
success for the 8-6 combo. Looks to be the best pair of horses according to our formula. If we go a step down, I would go with the 1 horse, La Seigneur.
So we have the 6-8, which it sounds like we're all off of the top 2 favorites, other than Chris liking the 7. Nobody likes the 5.
Fallica and Harvey's Little.
Harvey's Little Goyle came out of the right out with their first couple of starts, first several starts is awesome, and it's been disappointing ever since. She has not she's not lived up to the hype recently. I think that's the recency bias.
If that horse wins, I lose. I can promise you that.
Thank you for the honesty. I think we're probably in the same boat, because I mean, how deep you're going to go in an 8-horse race? You can only go.
You can't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, we got one more race to cover real quick, and we're 46 minutes in. We promised everybody a half hour. We're 46 in. Let's cover this one real quick. We wanted to do this because I think Chris felt like he had a, going against the grain type of feeling on this race. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. This is 7 furlong dirt, maiden special weight, 100K. What are we doing?
Yeah, I think you can look past the Tiger King horse who's 5-2 on the morning line, like blinkers on. This is a horse these are the types of horses I love betting against. Horses that were 16-1, 28-1 in their first 2 races, outran their odds, and now they're 5-2. Like that's a horse I'm going to bet against every single time. I think obviously Brad Cox horses figures a lot. We'll see if Todd Pletcher can improve a bomb, the 6, who was bet a little bit in his last couple of starts. But I kind of like the 2-horse Cool Question here. Second start, Robo Man was a daylight winner, 7-1 in that race. Didn't really run poorly, showed a little speed and tired. Certainly bred to be something out of Frosted. Cost over $200,000. Johnny V up. I think Cool Quest at 8-1 is going to have a big say in the outcome here.
All right. Any other opinions on the favorite here? Asking for a Baskin.
My top horse here is Ducal, which is the 7 horse at 7-2. Got one race that I was looking at for this one, or I think it was probably one race that he ran. Franco's in the mount. Cox is the trainer. Real strong speed figure last time out. Came in second. My next horse after that, if we're gonna jump past asking for whatever we're asking for here.
Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors.
Exactly.
Midwest. Go ahead.
Exactly. If we're looking to pair up Ducal with someone else, I've got wrapping text here. Laughing Boy in the 9 hole, 6-1. That's my next horse up that I would say you can
That's
get a
sneaky horse in here too. That horse is 3-1 in that last start at a mile.
Yeah,
and showed a lot of speed. Like from a far outside post at Churchill going a mile, it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
that horse might get forgotten about a little bit in the wagering.
Yeah, it came in third that time. Now we're dropping down, taking off a furlong, so to speak. Right. I think this is a really strong horse too that could make someone happy at 6-1, especially if some of these other horses that are below him in odds start getting bet up a little bit heavier.
All right, that's it. That's a wrap on our picks. Hope you guys. Hopefully we can all make some money on this thing. Especially Chris with these bombs. I'm gonna take some of those into account and use them.
Yeah, and it's like
Tiger King in this last race. Where did Tiger King come in? I missed the boat.
Asking for a Baskin. right? Oh, was it
Baskin
Carol
reference.
Baskin? Wasn't that?
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
Yes.
I've never
Carol
seen Tiger King. I just know the person's name was Carol Baskin.
Same here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I watched like 2 episodes and then threw up blood for a week. It was so terrible.
Sounds like I missed a whole lot.
It just got worse
Check
from
it
there.
out.
No reason to check it out. All right, so one last question: true or false? Bob Baffert worse than Satan? Go ahead.
Oh, false. No one's worse than Satan.
Okay. Well, you gotta be.
Satan's about as bad as you can get. And you were talking about the long shots. I think a lot of times in my handicapping, I kind of handicap in a sense too, where I treat it as like an ROI contest, which is what a lot of those which is pretty much what the NHC qualifiers are, especially in the pick and phrase. You want to avoid favorites in those.
You have to.
Your ROI is kind of what it's worth. So I think that's why I kind of gravitate towards trying to beat a lot of favorites.
Oh, absolutely. There's many ways to skin this, right? There's many ways to win this. So many different races. You can concentrate. It all depends on how many you win versus what your return is. So it's either you hit a couple bombs or you figure out which ones the favorites are going to win in, and you concentrate on those. Yeah, multiple ways to do it.
We can all agree that favorites are not the way to make money long term. Chris certainly had those opinions today, which is why we brought him on. Chris, we appreciate you coming in. Anything to promote on your end?
The only thing I got to promote, I know at some point, probably, I'm guessing, maybe the week of like August 9th or so, Stanford Steve and I'll be back doing some college football win totals and some season preview stuff.
Nice.
He's kind of out of the mix right now, and I'm going to be away for about 10 days or so on the 26th and getting back early August. So probably like August 10th or so is probably what we'll be starting to do some stuff. I know a lot of people are asking about it.
Good deal, man. Again, we appreciate it. Formula, thanks for your input as well.
That's what I'm here for.
Early 2022 Super Bowl favorite, Chris, go.
It's got to be the Chiefs with a healthy Mahomes and an offensive line that can stand up straight, right? It's got to be Kansas City.
Formula, any opinions on that before we go?
The Rams. Come on.
Matthew
A
Stafford.
lot of people like the Rams this year with Stafford and
Get to see Stafford on a team that isn't Detroit. That could be the key right there.
As a Lions fan, it's hard to admit that I'm glad to see Stafford leave because I did not want to see him suffer anymore.
Exactly. Start feeling sorry for the guy. Start rooting for him on other teams.
Good guy too, by the way. Very good guy.
Absolutely. Seems like it at least.
Class act. He's never done anything, and it's easy to offend the whole world nowadays, especially in Stafford has never really done anything to the negative. So kudos to
Detroit to do it too when the media gets so negative and the fans start turning on you, even though it may not be your fault that the team's collapsing. But
so in other words, you're going to purchase that Lions worst record in the league ticket? Is that what you're shooting for this year?
I saw that. Hey, look, I mean,
they're a bad bunch.
I'm not a big golf guy, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just I don't know how to say. I don't expect anything out of them. If they get about 5 or 6 wins, I think the town's happy. That's how bad that franchise is. So
yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say, I think 5 win. I think 4.5 or 5 is their win total.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up so you guys can go have dinner and not be in divorce court tomorrow, hopefully. So appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody. Have fun.
Thank you, Chris.
Good luck this weekend at Saratoga.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Good luck,
everyone.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.